Welcome to the Backgammon Christmas calendar. 24 points of Christmas. The 10 point by Grandmaster Mark Olsen.
What's up, Backgammon fans? Today is the 10th of December, and in this episode we're gonna talk about the 10 point. So the 10 point, it's over here, right in the middle of your outer board. It's a little bit of a weird point actually, because it's not as good as the 9 point, because it's not really part of your prime. And it's not really the 11 point would be more on the rear side. This is like right in the middle. And what's a little bit peculiar about bringing checkers to the 10 point is that when you have a checker on the 10 point, it's not exactly a good builder. It's way better to have a builder on the 9 point, because that diversifies your dice combinations to develop your position. When you have a checker on the 10 point, it duplicates your dice combinations to develop your position. For instance, 3-1. Well, 3-1, you make the 5 point, but it's also a good point to make the 7 point, but you're not going to use it because you can only do one of the two. The same goes for 5-3. 5-3, now you're going to make your 5 point. But 5-3 is also a great number to unstack the 6 point and build the 3 point. Again, you've duplicated your own number. I mean, it's not bad. It does give extra numbers, like 5-1 makes the 5 point, 6-3 makes the 7 point. So it does add something, of course. It's just a little bit annoying that you're duplicating rather than diversifying your own dice combinations. The 10 point, when you manage to get the 10 point, let's say that you had the 10 point here. It's not structured in direct range of your opponent's back checkers, which you would prefer, of course. That's better, because then it's part of your prime. The 10 point is not really part of your prime. Nevertheless, it's still valuable structure. It blocks fly shots like 6-3. I can't move a 6-3 to here because you're blocking the 10 point. It does serve as active builders to even better points, like for instance 6-2, forgot to mention that one before, also becomes a good building number. And it serves as valuable landing space for the checkers behind it when you bring your checkers around. So the 10 point is still a valuable point. All structure is good fundamentally, but it's not quite as good as the 9 point. It's a little bit weaker, it's still pretty good, a little bit weaker. It's not really part of your prime, there's gaps. It's not my favorite point, to be honest, but it's still a pretty good point. If you can make the 10 point, you should usually make the 10 point. Hey guys, remember to download and play on the Backgammon Galaxy app. Let's have a look at another position. So in this position, you're playing a holding game, or I'm playing a holding game, because I'm purple. I'm over here sitting at an anchor on your 5 point. You have full freedom. All your checkers or your back checkers have been liberated. You're to the midpoint or even further, and now you're trying to bring your checkers home. You're ahead, I believe you're ahead 28 pips or something like this in this position. So you're way ahead in the race. And notice that you have the 10 point. Okay, let's just, by the way, you've already doubled, so we don't have to worry about the doubling cube. The quiz is this. You roll the number 4 and 2. How to play 4 and 2. Well, basically you have two options here. Either you can simply just waste a spare checker, bring it down behind my anchor, which is kind of like a waiting play, or you can clear the 10 point. Oh, playing like this, clearing the 10 point. And since you are that far ahead in the race, you don't have to worry about priming here. You don't have to block me. Even if I roll double 5, you don't mind if I run because you're that far ahead in the race. So here the best play is just to clear the 10 point, right? So the 10 point is not even an asset in this position, because your game plan is not to prime, your game plan is to race. And 4-2 is an excellent roll to clear the 10 point, which is not really an asset, and create a lot of spare checkers, which gives you a long time to roll that double to clear the midpoint and win the game. It's a little bit peculiar because usually points, every time a point still has checkers behind it, it's useful landing for the checkers behind it. But that is true here, it is useful, but it's also a liability because I could leave a shot when I have to clear this. So it's better to just take this opportunity now, clear the 10 point, create robustness and flexibility. You're gonna have a long time here with all these spare checkers to roll a double and clear the midpoint. Okay, let's have a look at a variation. Instead of this position, now let's do this. So it's still a holding game. I'm still sitting here on your anchor on your 5 point. But now I'm actually ahead in the race. I'm ahead by 5 pips before the roll. And I have a strong inner board point over here. In this case, it would be a blunder to clear the 10 point. Because here, the 10 point is an asset. The race is very close, so you have great utility in terms of priming value, owning the 10 point here, especially just my double 5s. It immediately blocks my double 5s, but not just that, it blocks me, it keeps me blocked here. It makes it more difficult to run, and if I run, you have more attacking potential because of the 10 point. So here, with the race close, now the 10 point is an asset, not a liability. This was an episode about the 10 point. I hope you're enjoying this Christmas calendar from Backgammon Galaxy, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.
Merry Christmas, Backgammon fans!